Welcome to English Podcasts. Relax and enjoy your listening practice.
I used to think I understood what hard work looked like. I'd photographed wildfires in California, protests in the streets of Paris, even a winter expedition in Iceland. But nothing prepared me for the week I spent on a crab fishing vessel in the northern Pacific. It started with a call from an editor I'd worked with before. He said, "We need something real, something raw. The crab season's opening. You want to go?" 2 days later, I was standing on a steel beck that smelled like diesel, salt, and old rope, watching the shoreline disappear behind a wall of gray fog. The crew didn't talk much at first. 6 men, all weathered in a way you can't fake. Their faces looked carved by wind, hands thick, scarred, deliberate. I was the outsider, the guy with cameras instead of calluses. The first night, the sea turned violent. Waves slammed into the hull like they had something personal against us. The deck tilted so sharply I had to hook my arm through a railing just to stay upright. Freezing spray hit my face over and over, soaking my jacket, my gloves, everything. The fishermen moved through it like it was routine. Heavy crab pots, each weighing hundreds of pounds, swung dangerously from the crane as they shouted over the wind, timing every move perfectly. I remember lifting my camera, trying to focus while the boat dropped into a trough between waves. My stomach flipped. The sky was black except for the harsh white deck lights cutting through the storm. Steam rose from their breath as they hauled in the lines. Every few minutes someone would yell, and another trap would crash onto the deck, metal screaming against metal. Inside those cages, the crabs clawed and snapped, legs tangling over each other. The men sorted them fast. Legal size, keep. Too small, throw back. No hesitation. Efficiency meant survival. Around 3 a.m, during a brief lull, one of the deckhands handed me a mug of coffee so strong it felt like it could dissolve steel. He nodded toward the sea and said, "It doesn't care about you. That's the first thing you learn." That line stayed with me, because he was right. The ocean didn't care about their mortgages, their kids, their exhaustion. It didn't care about my camera or the story I wanted to capture. Out there, you either respected it or it reminded you who was in charge. By the 4th day, sleep had become something abstract. We worked mostly at night, chasing the best hours. My hands were cracked and bleeding from the cold. I'd stopped noticing the smell. I'd stopped feeling steady ground even when we were docked. But something shifted in me. Through my lens, I wasn't just seeing men hauling traps. I was seeing trust, the kind built when your life depends on the person next to you tying a knot correctly. I was seeing quiet courage. Not dramatic, not loud, just steady. On the last night, the storm cleared for a few hours. The sea was still rough, but the sky opened just enough to show a scatter of stars. The deck lights reflected off the wet metal, and for a moment, everything looked almost peaceful. One of the guys laughed, a real deep laugh, after a trap came up full. I took that photo. It's still one of the best I've ever made. When we finally returned to shore, my editor asked me what it was like. I told him this: "You can photograph danger. You can photograph strength. But until you stand on a rolling deck at 2 a.m. with freezing water hitting your face and men fighting the sea for their living, you don't really understand what resilience looks like." I went there to take pictures. I came back with respect.